What's going on, everybody? It's On Tap Your Go, and today we are playing some Standard. Let's break this down. We are playing Angelic Mimics, so this is a deck that I just honestly kind of threw together, and I really hope that this works the way I think it's going to work. So, Absorb Identity is a 2-mana instant from Kaldheim, brand new card. Return target creature to its owner's hand, and then you may have shapeshifters you control become copies of that creature until end of turn. So what we're actually trying to do is turn one of our creatures into something like an angel. So on our opponent's end step or something, we can Angelic Ascension one of our shapeshifter creatures, turn it into a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying, and then during our combat step, bounce it in response, have all of our creatures become 4/4 angel creature tokens with flying and get overhead for lethal. That is the game plan, that's the idea. We also have a few copies of Ominous Seas. So Ominous Seas is a 2-mana enchantment. Whenever you draw a card, you put a Forest Shadow counter on it, and then once it has 8 or more, you can remove them to create an 8/8 blue Kraken creature token. Same idea, we just want to make either a 4/4 flying angel that's hard for our opponents to block, or a big dumb 8/8 blue Kraken creature token, and then turn all of our shapeshifters into that specific creature and try to win the game. So all of our shapeshifter creatures, since everything in the deck is a shapeshifter, let's go over that. We have Guardian Gladewalker. This is a 2-mana 1/1 with Changeling. All the creatures have Changeling, I think, for the most part, so they're basically every creature type. When it enters the battlefield, you put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Not the greatest. It's just a 2-mana 2/2, or it can make something else bigger. Masked Vandal is a 2-mana 1/3 with Changeling. When it enters the battlefield, you can exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, exile target artifact or enchantment and opponent controls. It's pretty good. We also have all 4 copies of Glasspool Mimic, since this is a shapeshifter. Very, very, very cool. So this is Glasspool Shore, which comes in as a land, or it comes in as a token copy creature, or a creature copy of any creature that we control, except it's a shapeshifter rogue in addition to its other types. Then we have 4 copies of Gladewalker Ritualist. This is a 3-mana 3/3 with Changeling. Whenever another creature named Gladewalker Ritualist enters the battlefield under your control, you draw a card. So you don't get to draw off the first copy, which really sucks, but you can copy it with Glasspool Mimic. You can, the more copies that you play, you just generate some value out of it. But the drawing a card actually helps trigger the Ominous Seas too, which is pretty helpful. And then we have 3 copies of Realm Walker. This is a 3-mana 2/3 with Changeling. When it enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. The creature type literally doesn't matter at all. You can choose whatever you feel like. I'm probably going to choose some pretty funny, janky names, doesn't matter. You can look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may cast creature spells of the chosen type from the top of your library. Since everything is a shapeshifter except the Glasspool Mimic, you might have to choose Shapeshifter, you might have to choose Rogue just to keep it on the safe side, but it can cast anything else off the top no matter what you name, because they're all creature types. In the rest of the deck, we just have a little bit of backup. We have some Opt to be able to find our cards. This also is going to help trigger the Ominous Seas a little bit. We have 2 copies of Anticipate to try to find them, because these 2 cards are pretty essential, but Absorb Identity being kind of what we're trying to win the game with, we need to find this card every game. We also have 2 copies of Glass Casket to deal with early aggression in our opponent's creatures, 2 copies of Banishing Light to deal with our opponent's planeswalkers, other non-land permanents that are problematic. In the mana base, we have our mix of basics. We have all of our duels. We have our Fabled Passages to be able to tutor up for some basics. Then in the sideboard, we have an extra copy of Opt, Glass Caskets to be able to deal with early aggression. We can bring in the Ominous Seas if you want to go heavier on that package, especially against control. It's harder for your opponent to deal with it once this stick's already on the field. We have 2 copies of Heroic Intervention to protect our permanents, 2 copies of Sorcerer's Spyglass to be able to shut off any activated abilities, 2 more copies of Banishing Light to bring in against control, planeswalkers, and things like that, 2 copies of Jace Mirror Mage. This is honestly in here against control too. This card has been really good in a lot of matchups for me, because being able to just scry, find the cards that we need, draw cards, it just kind of synergizes by itself with a lot of what we're trying to do. And then we have 2 copies of Mystical Dispute to be able to counter our opponent's cards in the control matchup, and that is Angelic Mimics in Standard. So let's take this into the arena and see if we can get some wins, especially with the Absorb Identity interaction with Angelic Ascension or Ominous Seas. I really hope that I can get this to work for you guys on camera. It seems like a lot of fun, so stay tuned for that. Leave a like on today's video if you enjoy it. Hit the link down below if you want to try this deck out, and yeah, let's do it. Let's take this in the arena. Okay, going into game 1 against Saskantramio, whatever. We're on the play. The opening hand is okay. We don't have a lot of creatures, but we do have the Angelic Ascension. And all we need to do is try to find the absorbed identity. Yeah, let's start off with just an island, pass it up. Hello from our opponent. I'm also going to say hello to the pup. Rugged Highlands for our opponent. Well, we're going to go ahead and name, we're going to have that come in as green. And we'll go ahead and put the counter on the Guardian Gladewalker. Bone Crusher Giant. How unoriginal. Well, go ahead and play our Realm Walker. I guess we just name Shapeshifter just to be safe. Would you look at that? Up against what appears to be Gruul Adventures so far. People are still playing this deck. Interesting, interesting. Alright, so we're going to play this off the top. We're going to put the counter here. And we're actually going to Glass Casket the Bone Crusher Giant. Get in for 3 and pass it up. Yeah, so Realm Walker's pretty good. This is kind of like our form of draw, I guess. To be able to play stuff off the top, try to churn through our library until we can find the absorbed identity. Alright, another Bone Crusher for our Guardian Gladewalker. There's another Angelic Ascension off the top. Not exactly what we need. Alright, so I guess we just go ahead and attack for 4. Or for 3, I mean. Take the damage. Yep, I'm gonna play another Realm Walker. We're just gonna pass it up. And if our opponent tries to deal with either or, I'll have the Angelic Ascension if we need to. Fire that off, turn it into a 4/4 Angel. Okay, another Nejian Horn Beetle for our opponent. Yep. Seems pretty good. Pass the combat, they each get bigger. No attacks from my opponent. Okay, it's interesting. Land off the top kind of sucks. We're not gonna be getting there for a minute. So I guess we just play the Masked Vandal. And we pass it up. God bless you, puppers. Not sure what the Nice was for. Maybe it's because of the Garruk's Uprising. Oh, probably because my Masked Vandal couldn't deal with it. Whatever. Double Garruk's Uprising. It's pretty good. Sure. Well. Go ahead and exile that. Turn it into a 4/4. We're going to kill this. And I think we kill Bone Crusher Giant as well. And there's an absorbed identity, of course, right after I just get rid of all of my creatures. Shit. That would have been really good. But we would have just taken... we would have taken 12 to be able to do that, so that would have been a little sketchy. Great Henge for our opponent. So they're going to get some life back. They're going to get some value. Another Bone Crusher. Come on, unbelievable. Seriously? Alright. Now we can't block this Nejian Horn Beetle. Alright, I just hope that we reveal some creatures off the top. Really need them. Yep. No blocks. Shit. Yeah, that's a good game. Into game 2 against Jose Manuel, and we have a decent opening hand. In almost the same position as before, except now we have the Absorb Identity, and we need the Angelic Ascension or the Ominous Seas. We also need a blue source, which I really hope we draw. Hello. The fuck, what the heck, opponent? Alright, Fable Passage. Can we draw our Fable Passage, please? No, but we do get a blue source. It's a very awkward blue source. Like, do we want to play the creature first? I guess it doesn't matter. They didn't do anything yet. Let's get the Mimic down so we have the blue. Besides, you already know, we're going to draw a blue source off the top anyway, so then we could have committed to the board and we didn't. It's usually just how it goes. Oh, it's this deck? Oh, man. Well, we're probably in a lot of trouble. Yeah, we're probably in a ton of trouble. Right, let's play Realm Walker, I guess. Name Shapeshifter, and there's the Ascension off the top, so we can do it. We have the combo, but they're gonna start cycling a bunch of cards. This is gonna be a absurdly large Fox, and then they're gonna hit us with a Zenith Flare. So really, we have to try to outrace them. Typical opponent. Cool. Should have cycled, man. If you were gonna do it, just do it. Get the value. Alright, nothing we can play off the top, so we're gonna play our Masked Vandal first. Okay. Get the Guardian Gladewalker as well. Go ahead and put the counter on... I guess we'll just put it here. Who cares? Oh, we're not going to be blocking, so we're going to attack. Let's try to get their life total down. Currently, we're at 4, 8, 12 if you do the Angelic Ascension interaction. So if we can stick our Realm Walker and last for one more turn, or one more turn cycle, we might be able to pull this together. No blocks. Sure. It's pretty good. Opponent's not really playing this deck very well, though. All things considered. Ooh, and a Gladewalker Ritualist, huh? So I really want to be able to... I wanted to play a creature and be able to Angelic Ascension too. Opponent gets to make a blocker too to trade with the Realm Walker, so that's not really going to help. Yeah, let's play the Ritualist. Let's go ahead and play this land here. Yeah, that really sucks that we couldn't get the... Yeah, if we just had an untapped source there, we could have done this, but yeah, I guess we just pass. Let our opponent do their thing. They only have 2 cards in grave, and they didn't even cycle. So opponent's just bluffing that they have cycle cards, I guess. Or they just forgot. Alright, this is it. One more turn cycle. Oh, that's pretty good for our opponent. They definitely found a Zenith Flare. They had to have. But they only have 3 cards in grave, so it's actually not going to be too effective. So we play our Realm Walker. We'll name Rogue. Who cares? And then we just pass it up one more time. On our opponent's end step, Angelic Ascension. One of our creatures. This is exciting. This is about to be it. Okay, Giant Stinger for our opponent. They still have Zenith Flare mana. But they don't have enough cards in the grave. They only have 3 cards. No, they only have 2 cards of cycling in the grave. I mean, this deck doesn't run enough interaction otherwise. It's just a Zenith Flare that they rely on. But we'll go ahead and take some of this damage here. Close. Okay, so he wants to try to make these fights. So I'm going to go ahead and Angelic Ascension this now. Okay. Sure. Take damage. We get a 4/4. 4, 8, 16. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So yes. Oh, I can't believe it actually worked. Just out of nowhere, just dome our opponent for 16. Okay, going into game 3 against Slim Shady. I don't think he's the real one, but we'll hope. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if I was playing against the real Slim Shady? He's gonna write a rap about it. He's Slim Shady as he's the real Shady. So stupid. So stupid. Okay, so up against another Flourishing Fox deck, sure. 2 games in a row. Except this time they're on the play. Alright, let's play this one just because they can't cycle enough to kill it. Profitably attack this turn. We have the Ascension, we just need to find the Absorb Identity and a few more Shapeshifters. I feel like this deck is probably a lot better off in Historic, being able to use like Collected Company and things like that, things of that nature. So I could try to hold up the Anticipate. I really think we need to commit more to the board. So you know what? Let's play the Guardian. Put that there. No attacks. We'll just pass it up. Sure. Now we're going up against an opponent who's probably have a better idea of this deck because they're just cycling everything. Still no attacks. That Banishing Light's pretty good if we can find a land. Oh, Jesus. Well, this is probably a loss. And then our only white source we're gonna get this game is probably gonna be a tapped land too. Sure. Yeah. Can we please use this banishing light? No, no blocks. Come on now. Whatever. Let's keep sticking our threats. And I forgot to play a land. Dang. Shit. 2, 4, 5. Yep. Of course. Yep. Well, let's see. We're dead to a Zenith Flare, so we have to block this now. Unfortunately. Finally. Yeah, we're banishing this fox. Get that crap off the field. No attacks. We're still we're still in a pretty bad spot though. I mean, all the cards in their graveyard are cycling this time, so they can just dome us for 7. Sure. Get a few more 1/1s and stuff. You want to start attacking? No? Okay. Okay, so Temple. Sure. It's had to interrupt me. It's fine. Opponent cycles. We do not need another land. Yeah, we're just gonna have this come in as another Masked Vandal. Masked Vandal.deck, everybody. So if, let's see, 4, 8. So we only have 16 damage here. Great. Another fox. Shit. They have so many tokens now. So they probably have us dead. Probably have us dead to rights with the Zenith Flare. Take 4 here. We go down to 11. They have 10 cycling cards in their grave. Yeah. So we're just like dead. Interesting. Yep, have to take that. Now they have exactly 11 cards in their grave. Yeah, my turn. Glass casket's cool and all. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, we're just dead. We're gonna go ahead and hop out of this one. Welcome back to the wrap up, everybody. Keeping this one pretty short for today, but we have gone 1 and 2. Not super good, but we did happen to get the Angelic Ascension and Absorb Identity combo to work the way that I wanted it to. I think that this deck actually does have some potential. There's not really a lot of shapeshifters, really. So, like, even if we switch this over to Historic for you guys so you can see, as far as shapeshifters go, the only thing that we pick up in Historic is Body Double, which is pretty good, but it costs 5. It's really slow for what we're trying to do. There's Lazav. Don't have a lot of copies of it, but Lazav could actually be pretty good, especially since it could become a copy of anything in the graveyard. And then we have like Metallic Mimic and stuff. I also considered playing like a one of Maskwood Nexus, but seemed a little slow. But I feel like this deck has some potential. It really does. I think that you can get away with turning this into historic, maybe throwing collected companies in here. Everything costs 3 or less, so being able to just dump some shapeshifters into play, you know, better than casting them one at a time seems a little bit better. But overall, the deck is okay. It's fun. It's gimmicky. I wouldn't say that it's tier 1 or anything, not even close. But, you know, if you happen to have a lot of shapeshifters in your collection, see if you can break Absorb Identity, and if you can, let me know in the comments below how you did so, because I'm really curious. I think this is definitely going to be a player in the shapeshifters deck. If you know, you can turn your creatures into 4/4s, you can turn them into 8/8s. Just trying to think of what else you could play. You could just play any generic creature. You probably don't have to play either or of these. Probably could just play like Dream Trawler. Turning your shapeshifters into Dream Trawlers seems really good. But that's it for today's video, everybody. If you liked it, please leave a like on today's video. Check the link down below if you want to try this deck out. And if you can break Absorb Identity, please let me know down in the comments below. I think this card is a lot better than people give it credit for, and I'm pretty excited to see if somebody else can do something way more shenanigan-y with it than I can. So I'm on Tap Your Go. It's been real, everybody. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.